Hello, 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 and welcome to the Dear Diary podcast. I'm your host, Katie. And guys, we are at episode 7. I cannot believe we are 3 episodes away for being on episode 10. Like, I still am in shock of just like how far I've came. Like, just from it being a thought to my head and God planting this in me and just seeing it grow has been just a beautiful feeling. It's an intense feeling, I will say. And again, I don't think I can tell you guys how much I'm so grateful and so appreciative and so honored that you guys are rocking it out with me and listening to me and just me finding my power and strength in my voice. Like, I'm just go me. Like, I've been in so many situations where I do not give myself enough credit. So I am definitely going to give myself a credit this episode because I have been putting the topics out there. I have been doing my big one. God has been speaking through me. It's just been a lot, and it's been a lot of good. You know what I mean? Like, I cannot be more happier than how everything has been coming about. This has been my motivation. Like, I get excited doing podcasts. I get excited to get on a mic. I get excited to put these headphones on and, be a certified yapper. You know what I mean? Like, I get excited to talk about these things. So I'm just so grateful. So let's just get into it, okay? So after all that being said, episode 7 is something that's, again, dear to my heart. It is called Filling Your Cup, okay? And honestly, I will say I've had a lot of topics that I had already put in my head and that I just been, taking them off the list and doing it. And I don't have a list of what's going to be what. Well, when I tell you the Holy Spirit has been moving, like, I just been going by what He telling me to do. Literally, like, I want you to talk about this. And the topic that I was confused. I was like, okay, so after I do this, what can I talk about? And he spoke to me. He was like, because the main thing I said in episode 6 was basically like, making sure that you're ready and you heal you before, you get ready to be in a relationship and be with somebody else. And he just kept saying about filling your cup, and it just kept speaking to me. And I'm like, you know what? What would be a better way to bring this topic in after talking about relationships and healing yourself before you get into it? You know what I'm saying? Because, again, the whole purpose and the main goal for me about this podcast is unpacking it, but also learning different ways and techniques to keep moving forward. You know what I mean? So I was just like, you know what, God, you got it. It wasn't even nothing on my list, but I was like, you know what, if you want me to talk about it, we're going to talk about it. And I asked God, I'm like, you want me to keep it the same title? He said, yeah, I need them to understand what that means. And when I think of filling a cup, I think of fullness. I think of pouring something into you that you want. And when you think about cups come in all shapes and sizes, you feel me? So, and some people, personalities are cups. You got the Stanley cups, you got the Yeti cups, you got this one, you got that one. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything has different ones. You got one that keep your stuff hot, one thing to keep your stuff cold. You know what I'm saying? And one is really cute and you carry it everywhere you go. And another one is for work, and another one is for home. And, like, it is so many purposes when it comes to a cup. And as simple as it may seem, when it comes to a cup, the whole purpose is to fill. And I really feel like, and you can fill it in with a lot of things. You can fill it with things that's good for you, things that are bad for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you a college girlie, then you got you a big cup from Wawa with some ice to fill some things that you ain't supposed to really fill yourself with, but you did it for a good time, okay? I'm clocking that tea. And also, you have people who fill their cups for, more being productive at work. You got your coffee girlies, you got your tea girlies, you got your detox girlies, you got your hydration girlies. You just got so many different things, and it's so many different purposes for a cup. And as simple, like I said, as simple as it may seem, I really do view us as cups. Like, a lot of us are walking around with empty cups. And you would think, like, nah, like, that's crazy. Like, I'm not walking around being empty. I'm not walking around, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of y'all are walking around being an empty cup. A lot of y'all are not clean. A lot of y'all have neglected yourselves. You know how you keep your cup in the car for X amount of couple days and that's you. That's you. You ain't check up on yourself emotionally. You ain't been taking care of yourself physically. you ain't been nurturing yourself as much as you've been nurturing others. I feel like a lot of times we fill everybody else up and then we leave ourselves hanging for dry. You know what I mean? Like, just imagine walking around with an empty cup. Just imagine. You could be the baddest cup. You could be a Stanley. You could be a Yeti. You could be all those type of things. Okay? But if it's empty, what's the purpose? What's the use for it? And a lot of times I see ourselves on the outside, we are these exterior, we are just these beautiful creatures, but in the inside we are empty. We empty, we dirty, ain't nothing composed in us. A lot of people don't got no substance, no morals, no values. You know what I'm saying? Some people unpoured themselves so much to the point that their cup is so far gone. And they have been pouring into others and neglected themselves for so long they don't even know what their cup look like anymore. By the time you get back from being with that person or the relationship or whatever you with at that time and pouring all into them, by the time it's time to get to you, you can't even recognize your cup anymore. And if you get what I'm saying figuratively, then you will understand that what I'm trying to say. We are losing ourselves. And it's becoming to a point where we cannot recognize ourselves. We are losing ourselves so much to the point where we don't have nothing else to give. We are burnt out. We are drained. We're angry. We're frustrated. We have nothing to fulfill us along the way. We have nothing to keep us going. You know what I mean? Like when you running around and ripping and running around your job and you got that cup in your hand and that little sip just keeps you going. You know what I'm saying? Just a refresher. No, you don't have no boost, no energy. You don't got nothing to keep you going. Now you're depressed. Your cup is so empty. You have nothing to fill yourself with. And I think we are so used to it. It's becoming to a point where we just neglect it. Like, we're so used to just, doing what I gotta do, surviving. You know what I mean? Back to what I'm talking about hyper independence. And a lot of it comes from, again, where we come from, what we was taught, and this, that, and the third. If you ain't see nobody, if you ain't see your parents taking care of themselves and operating in this world, then you most likely are struggling to do so. And I'm seeing a lot of us crashing out when it comes to, overuse of coffee, overuse of energy drinks. Like, this world can be so heavy, y'all. Like, I was just talking to somebody and just saying, like, this world can just be so much and overstimulating to the point where I get stagnant. I don't know about anybody, y'all, but I don't know about anybody else, but I know for me, I get stagnant. When I get overstimulated, I don't keep going. Sometimes I freeze. Sometimes I'm just so tired to the point where I just need to just stay still for a few minutes. And them few minutes come into days. And then I'm just operating and moving in stillness, not doing anything, but just existing. And that part is the part that gets scary because no life is being fulfilled. Nothing is being experienced. Like, you're just operating and moving and nothing on you to feel yourself. Like, and I just continue to remind myself, like, I make so many excuses on why I don't take care of myself. Like, my father literally just called me the other day and fussed me out for a whole hour and a half about how I've been sick and how I haven't been taking care of myself, and knowing that I work with children, knowing how easy I can get sick, that I haven't been taking vitamins or making sure that I'm okay. And then I'm telling him all the reasons, like, no, like, kind of get catching the attitude, or kind of like, coming up with excuses of why I'm not taking care of myself. And then I had to realize, you know what, Katie, thank him. Because why are we making excuses of the simple reason of why we're not taking care of ourselves? Like, it's clear as day. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, working with children, you can definitely get sick, but I'd be running and moving and ripping and all that type of stuff. Sometimes I don't even think about stopping to do anything for myself. I give. My job is giving to these children. My job is giving. Okay? I give. I operate. I have so many roles. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm moving. And I know God be looking at me like, okay, Katie, you moving, but how you going to keep moving if you ain't taking care of you? Like, for real. Like, you have nothing in your cup. Right now, your cup is affected. You need to go clean it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if anything, you need to take a step back from this world and talk to me. Sometimes we get so caught up in our positions and our roles, we lose sight of where God is at. We lose sight of or what the purpose was of why he have us out here in the first place. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we just be moving. Sometimes that's the only purpose we think we have. You know what I mean? Especially when it's making you money. Like, it is so hard to not get yourself lost in the sauce when it comes to your job. The drama and everything that comes with it sometimes. Sometimes you get caught up in that. And it sticks with you and you take it home. And the worst thing about it is sometimes we get around people who also cups are empty and you think you pouring into each other, but most of the time you just trauma dumping on each other. Ain't nothing being poured into anything. If anything, more is being taken out of you, less than you already have. And you're coming home feeling drained. You're coming home feeling deprived. You're coming home walking away with somebody else's mess. You're operating in anger and frustration and all that all day, 7 days a week. No rest is in your schedule. You may lay your head down at night. You may close your eyes. There is no rest being made. And you know the crazy thing? I could tell a person who's restless when I see a lot of people with my coworkers, they come in the morning on the phone complaining. It is early in the morning. You ain't do no meditation. You ain't even thank God this morning that he got you up. You ain't even look at yourself in the mirror all the way. You are on the phone still complaining and still drained from the situation that happened a couple weeks ago, and you still talking to that same homegirl or homeboy about it early in the morning. So now you're starting your morning off like that. Then you go to lunch, call that person again on the phone, or somebody else call you about something else, and now you stressing and messing about that. And by the time you get home, all of that has not been unpacked fully. Now you're taking it home with you. Now you're taking it out on your kids. Now you're taking it out on your husband. Now you're taking it out on yourself. And all the 24 hours of the day, you don't even think to breathe. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, that's how we operate. And, like, I see it so many times. I see so many people on the go, like, so to the point where you cannot slow them down. That's why we have all these car accidents. That's why we have people cussing and fussing out at each other. We're moving and moving and moving like there is no time left in the world. And that's the part that scares me, because if everybody's cup is empty, how are we getting the things that we need to be able to survive? Real talk. Everybody is, and that's the part where the frustration, the anger, and the survival skills all coming, because everybody's trying to survive. Everybody is struggling. You get what I'm saying? You got your homegirl struggling, your homeboy struggling, and instead of hydrating himself, he over here dosing himself up with pills. He over here taking all this weed and doing all this crazy drugs and this, that, and the third. And then you got your homegirl pouring all her baggage on you, and now she pouring her insecurities into your cup, and now you filled up with insecurities. And it's just like, bro, we are not operating as we need to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, first with yourself, you have to make sure your cup is filled. You got to make sure you got a routine. You got to make sure that you are focused. At the end of the day, yes, everything is going on in this world, and yes, I care, and yes, everything does matter at the end of the day, but so do you. So what are we doing to make sure that you are okay? What are we doing to help you get from like, to regulate your emotions? What are we doing? Because I really feel like everybody is just so numb and everybody just unfilled, and we're working in this operation and it's not healthy. So what are we doing for ourselves? For me, especially being a full-time grad student and a full-time worker and living in this world independently, listen, when it comes to my cup being unfulfilled, I promise you, it's majority of the time that it is filled. But as of no more, because a lot of times when I'm talking to y'all about this stuff, is because I'm experiencing it. So I be calling myself out too, okay? A lot of it is because I'm calling myself out too. So we don't even got to worry about that. But real talk, like, I had to tell myself, like, Katie, especially being in therapy, my therapist called me out every time. Like, she's like, come on now, like, What are we doing for ourselves? Did you check in with yourself? And I'm just like, you know what? I need to get on a schedule. Like, sometimes work can be so stressful, or school can be so stressful, or family or whatever can be so stressful that I carry it. And I maybe have filled my cup, because when I start in the morning, I really try to make sure I don't even go on social media. I really try to make sure I tell God, thank you, Lord, for waking me up this morning and bless me with another day. And I have positive affirmations, and I have scriptures that I read to myself, and a mission statement I read to myself every single day, because I need to remind myself of who God called me to be, because my cup has been filled of insecurity sometimes, or my cup has been filled with anxiety, all type of things. So I have to decompress. So in the morning, I make sure it's my duty, before I talk to anybody else, before I even look at anything around this world, me and God got to connect first. Once me and God connect first, sometimes I gotta just breathe. Because sometimes I don't even let go of what really happened that night before. Sometimes I still feel it in the morning. So sometimes I just gotta breathe. Sometimes I just gotta breathe. And then I make sure I get myself ready. I used to listen to either like jazz music or positive informations, like off YouTube, or I used to listen to this YouTuber who would go through her daily devotionals every single day, and that's what helped me keep me calm and keep me focused and head fast to start my day. Now, work is work, so you operate in that. But I make sure on my break that I try to keep my social stuff to a minimum. Because especially when I'm working with kids, I'm constantly making decisions. I'm constantly on overdrive. I'm constantly repeating myself. I'm constantly talking. So when it comes to my break, headphones in. I barely try to reply back to messages. I'm just still trying to focus on making sure I get some me time to myself. You know what I'm saying? And then when I get home, I listen to music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just try to find things that make sure that I'm finding things that I implement in my day to day that will make me feel better about my situation. Am I working the job that I want to do for the rest of my life? Absolutely not. Am I still in grad school even though I should have graduated this year? Absolutely. I'm still in, you know what I'm saying? Like, my situation isn't where I want it to be, but I make sure that I don't make my life and make me feel like I'm not where I want to be. I implement things to make me feel better about my situation. Do things that make me happy, filling my cup. You know what I mean? Like, okay, Katie, I know I like music, so let's listen to music. And I love music so much that I even listen to instrumental music while I'm doing homework. Because that's what keeps me zen. That's what keeps me sane. Everybody got different things. And you have to implement things that you like throughout the day, not just one time a week. My therapist was like, so you don't think you deserve things that you like and to do for yourself every single day? I laughed. I was like, what you mean? I'm like, I do think I deserve. And she was like, well, why would you deprive yourself from things that you want to do for yourself and only give yourself one day to fulfill after doing everything, anything for everybody throughout the rest of the days of the week? Like, you deserve things for yourself every single day. So now I start to do things for myself every single day. And it's simple. It don't cost money. It don't always got to be a self-care thing. But I make sure that I am doing things that will make me happy and make sure it's keeping me focused. You know what I'm saying? Because don't get me wrong. Sometimes when people think, oh, I'm doing something for me happy, they think, oh, you going out or you doing this and you doing that. Don't get me wrong. Yes, those things can make you happy, but what is keeping you level? What is keeping your soul still beaming and shining? What is keeping you still alive? You know what I mean? And that's the part that we need to figure out. Okay, if meditation keeps me calm, I gotta make sure I do that every day. It don't gotta be for an hour. It could probably be for 5 minutes before you go to work. I know my one coworker says they stretch before they go to work. I used to stretch before I go to bed, but again, I'm still working on me. But it's different things that you can do for yourself that make you feel better and make sure that you're still taking care of yourself. And then it's just like, I can't sit here and say that I want somebody to take care of me and treat me with respect, and if I'm not doing it for myself. I can't expect nobody to fill my cup when I ain't even filling my own cup. Okay? And that's back to the whole relationship part from Is Marriage to the Go episode 6, because it's just like, Katie, I'm just using me for example. If I want somebody to buy me flowers and treat me and be romantic towards me, then I need to do that to myself. Not to show nobody how to love me, but also show to myself that I deserve that type of love. I've been deprived from it for so long, not even realizing that I could give it to myself. Romanticizing my own life, loving me for who I am. The things that I'm asking for a person to do, Katie, do it for yourself. It's probably be more fulfilling anyway. You know what I mean? Those are the things that I really feel like that's the whole purpose of loving on yourself. Because when you treat yourself and you hold yourself to a certain type of caliber and a certain type of level, nobody coming at you like that. And don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna say anybody gonna try you, but 10 times out of 10, okay, is less likely. You know what I mean? When you love yourself so much, you wouldn't even put yourself in a situation to be disrespected. When you love yourself so much and you respect yourself so much, you wouldn't allow a person to keep constantly disappointing you over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. When you love yourself and care for yourself so much, you wouldn't allow yourself to be in situations of being around in an environment that doesn't serve you no good. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, sometimes we do gotta stay locked in, and we do gotta, surpass and overcome things, yes. And we have trials and tribulations, yes. But some things don't deserve your energy. Your boss having an attitude and taking out on you don't deserve your energy. You don't take that home. Pray for that boss, because they might be going through something in real life time. You feel me? That you don't even know about. Most of the times, when we taking home things from what people said or what people did, it ain't got nothing to do with us. Remember who you are. And when you treat yourself so good, you wouldn't even be bothered that how somebody would try to treat you like, please, I do myself better than that. You know what I mean? When you have better, you do better. So do better for yourself, not for anybody else. Fill your own cup, okay? I know you thirsty. Okay, think of your favorite drink. Okay, mine is a half and half. Alright? Or strawberry lemonade. Okay? I'm not gonna let anybody drink off of my cup without anything in return. Anymore, you know what I'm saying? You ever had your drink and somebody drink all your drink and you thirsty? You know how irritating that is? Like, everybody has their favorite beverage. Everybody is a cup, okay? That's the whole point. Everybody is a cup, and everybody should be treating themselves accordingly. Filling yourself up. Making sure you are the best for yourself. You know, you got them cups that can be hot, can be cold, got all these technical gadgets. Make sure you can do that for yourself. Make sure you know how to regulate your emotions. Make sure you know how to, exercise when you need to go exercise. You know what I'm saying? Take those pills that you need to go take that your doctor said to go do. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure you loving on yourself, making sure that you are okay. Because the more you neglect yourself, your physical will start to show. We can hide that all day long, but it will start to show. Or it will start to show and then pop up in your emotions in your day-to-day life, your decision making. When you don't love yourself, your environment looks like you don't love yourself. Everything is everywhere. You keep saying you don't have time to clean this and clean that. Yes, you do. But you keep putting yourself in situations where your cup is being unfilled and you're pouring everything to everybody and everybody else. And now you're neglecting yourself, the things that you've been said you wanted to do for yourself. Why is that? Why do you keep doing it? Do you not think you deserve love? Do you not think that you are worthy of everything under the sun? Like, we really have to really put in perspective that we are wonderful and valuable creatures. Like, some of y'all will treat a materialistic thing more better than you will treat yourself. Don't let nobody step on your shoes, bro. Don't let nobody try to borrow your shoes. Oh, absolutely not. You ain't gonna just step on my shoes. If your $350 shoes is worth more than your life, then we got a lot to talk about. And it's not to come at you, but it's just like to put things in perspective. I don't think God really wants us out here valuing materialistic things over the thing that He created. The things that make materialistic things in the first place. Like, I had to tell myself, like, bro, you take care of everybody else good. You do everything for everybody else good, but you barely do good for yourself. And I'm glad my father fussed me out. Because I should be taking vitamins. I should be doing this and I should be doing that. Yes, I should. I should be taking care of myself. It's just no way that I would go and raw dog it at the school knowing that I can get sick. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I thought of it in a deeper perspective. It's just like, you making sure everybody good at the job, making sure you making sure that you're doing everything this, that, and the third. But not once have you thought about yourself. Like, you over here sick, can't even do your podcast episodes, can't even, barely talk without coughing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really going through it. And you still showing up to work, and you still taking medicine, and still, pushing through, and this is that and the third. But the podcast that you wasn't able to do that week held you back. Now you're trying to find different other ways to connect with people. And don't get me wrong, things happen, yes, but if I would have just been taking care of myself more, that probably wouldn't even been a situation. And not saying I hold myself back, but I will take accountability that, yes, Katie needs to take care of herself better. Katie needs to love on herself better. Katie deserves that. I pour so much into people in relationships. It's to the point where I'm just like, I get that. It's to the point where I'm I'm so picky now. Like, people be like, oh, well, you out this, that, and third, or you don't want to go out. No, I don't. You know how many times I've been going out for other people, and when most of the time I wanted to stay home? It don't got nothing to do with nobody, but when you pour so much and you don't have nothing in you, you are dehydrated. I need space. It's to the point where I will literally go incognito, and I'll just rather just be to myself for a couple days just to reboot, just to refill my cup. And it shouldn't have to take all that sometimes. If I've been filling my cup up and making sure I'm good throughout all of the days, you know what I'm saying? And also, it's just like, I'm at a space where it's just like, I'm worried about me. I have been so in tune with everybody but myself. I have been doing things for everybody but myself. I have been finding out and being that person for everybody but myself. And even when it comes to my accomplishments and my goals, I'm thinking about everybody else. I need to be thinking about myself. Like, just for a small example, I'm over here thinking of ideas for my birthday, and I'm an old head, so I want to go to like a jazz thing, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, well, not everybody want to do jazz. And then my friend was like, well, anybody who loves you and supports you will do everything you want them to do for your birthday. It shouldn't matter what everybody else thinking. I say, you know what? You are absolutely right. And you see how my mind automatically goes to, people before Katie? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm grateful that I have people to remind me that, no, that's not okay. Even in relationships and friendships, I find myself serving those people so much that I have forgotten about myself. And then when they leave or when they decide to move on, I don't even know what I'm looking at nowadays, because I have poured in so much that I have nothing to return to, and I can't remember what my cup looked like. I can't remember what the last time I done something for me. Being so caught up in everybody else's world, being a co-star in everybody else's world, but forgetting my own, forgetting who I am, forgetting what I like and what, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like to a point where just like, now, respectfully, I am doing me. And if you get offended by it, you get offended by it. And it's not even, and I'm not even trying to be rude about it. It's just simple fact. It's just like, I am moving how I need to move for now forward. I'm not trying to tug nobody along with me. I'm not trying to bring people in who are not people who have their cups filled. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be around anybody, anything that will distract me from filling my cup up. I'm not having nobody around me that's not on the same wave as me anymore. I got to have people in my circle, and I need that support system, because sometimes we don't know when our cup is not filled. Sometimes we walking around with a closed cup, don't even know we walking around empty. You need people in your life that will tell you, hey, recharge, reboot, take space, relax. You sit down, let me go handle it. You know what I mean? You need people like that in your life. You don't need a bunch of takers. When you have too many takers in your life, you start to find yourself so far gone and so empty. You like, man, like, and then when you ask for them, they give you a response of, oh, da 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 da, like, oh, okay, I see. You will take from me, but when I need something in return, I get nothing back. You know what I'm saying? So we just people who are people pleasers by, you know, by fault, by default at that. People who love people, people who are servants, people who are givers, people who have a big heart, protect it at all costs. And still be that big heart, be that giver, because that's what God called you to be. That's what He put into you. That's who you are. And I had to keep telling myself, like, no, Katie, you don't got to change yourself. You just got to change people around you. You got to have people that's like-minded like you, like-hearted like you, people that will serve like you, people who will listen to you like you listen to others, people that will empathize with you, like people that actually care about your day, people that actually want to be involved in the things that you got going on in life, not just circle level stuff. You need people in your life that is going to pour into you like how you are pouring into them. You need a person with a filled cup. And when they empty you and you are full, you can pour and they can pour. You need somebody that is like you. And I am grateful that God has blessed me with people recently, and still I have people in my life, but I'm just so glad that my eyes are open to the people that are fulfilling my cup and I'm fulfilling theirs. It's no better feeling than a reciprocated relationship. And all of this is to say that while you're filling your cup, you be selfish with that. You take pride in that. If y'all can take pride in Stanley's and y'all can show your cups off and like that, show yourself off. Doll yourself up. Put bedazzles on your cup, girl. You know what I'm saying? Put them stickers on your cup. Do whatever you got to do. Dress up. Feel good about yourself. If you've been wanting to, start your health journey, start your health journey. If you've been wanting to, change your style, change your style. If you've been wanting to do different things outside of your friend group, do those different things by yourself. Don't rely on anybody else, because I promise you, I said it at the last episode, the longest relationship you ever going to be in is with yourself and God. So make sure those are the main two things you are serving. And then everybody else can't serve you and anybody else can't fill your cup. Then respectfully remove yourself from that area and focus on you. Because I promise you, you are important, you are loved, and you are valued, and you matter. Like, you gotta keep telling yourself that. And I know it can be hard if you grew up like that, and if you are so caught up and so sometimes you're so intertwined with all of these souls and this environment and this lifestyle, and sometimes you get caught up in that because we are walking around unfilled, dehydrated, deprived, tired, nothing substantial, everything surface, and we are now creating things that are serving no good to ourselves and to other people and to this world. And we crashing out, and just make sure you pouring things in yourself that are good too. You got a lot of toxins and things that are not good for you. People, situations, environment, even things that you eat, the things that you drink. You got to slow down on that coffee sometimes. Find a natural supplement that will keep you awake. Maybe if you go to sleep and stop arguing with that other person, or maybe if you go to sleep and actually, do what you need to do for yourself, taking care of yourself, maybe you won't be so tired. Don't get dependent on those types of those things that are, that help you but not really help you. Energy drinks, those things aren't good for your heart. Find different supplements that will help you, especially for the girlies that work 12-hour shifts or, anything 8 and above, overnight shifts. Find healthy supplements, because those can catch up to you and your health can be deprived just because you're trying to keep up with an empty cup. And all of us just say just out of love, like, love yourself, pour into yourself, let God pour into you. Make space for Him to pour into you. If you find yourself that you like, I don't even know what to do. I don't even know what to pour in me. I don't even know what I'm missing. I don't even know what I'm needing. Whatever your spirituality looks like, go to that source. Sit down with yourself. Find some time to sit down with yourself. Write it down. You know, you gotta do those things. You gotta push yourself. Push. Because this world ain't gonna push you. They just gonna keep letting you be a people pleaser, keep letting you be used up and abused up. They're not gonna be worried about you. Even your family not gonna be worried. Your friends not gonna be worried about you. They'll probably find another friend that will, shake their butt on Instagram and smoke a hookah with them. They're not worried about you. So it's just like you gotta do what you gotta do. Because at the end of the day, bro, life is short. People are dying. My people are dying. Okay? And I know that God called us on this earth and He's also going to call us home. But I promise you, people are dying sooner than what I really feel like His time is for us. And it scares me because I feel like a lot of us are lost and we have no resources. Yeah, and like sometimes we forget, like, we got to put ourselves first. We got to fill our cups in. We got to love on ourselves more. We got to cherish ourselves more. We have to do better. Spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. All of those things matter. And don't get to the point where you so unfulfilled that you are to the point where you don't find no purpose to fulfill yourself. To the point where you're so numb and just like, I don't even have it in me. Yes, you do. You do have it in you. Fight for yourself. Because if you can fight for that friend, you can fight for that man, you can fight for that girl, or you can fight for that family member that get on you. You can fight for yourself. You fight for that job that don't give two craps about you. You can fight for that. You can fight for yourself. We are built to overcome things. So continue to pour in you. Continue to love on you. Like, it shouldn't be that hard, but unfortunately it is when we live in a society that even though they express individualism, they still put you in a position where individualism, you would think you should be loving on yourself and worried about yourself only, but a lot of us are people pleasers, and we are out here operating to do and show and prove and get validation from this, that, and the third, and all these on empty cups. Yeah, we're all on empty. And let's fill ourselves together. Let's go through it together, y'all. I'm starting from scratch. I already told you my father fussed me out for an hour and 30 minutes. Actually 2 hours, and then he fussed me out again today. But within that fuss, what was I blessed with? I was blessed with him providing for me with supplements to take for the cold. And he has been, supporting me along the way. And I'm holding myself accountable. Even with physical health, I got to start holding myself accountable. I slicked off on that. We all got to do better in some areas in our lives. And I feel like we should all do it together. And I just appreciate y'all listening to me. I don't be coming on here to clock anybody's tea. I just be coming on here to share my experience. And if you've been through the same thing or you're going through the same I'm going through, then we in it together. We are doing this together. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for staying out and sticking out with me for another 30, 40 something minutes. And I cannot wait until you guys tune into episode 8.